Hello, Silas here. We're trying out some multimodal Gen AI, and the most recent thing I tried out last night was Tripo AI. It's a tool that's used to generate 3D models from pictures or text, and it's very exciting. So with this, I generated a cute rabbit in Flux, and I put that in here. And interestingly enough, it was able to detect what the content was, and it's showing other rabbits that were already generated that other people made that I could use. So you can get one of those existing models for 5 credits. This was my first impression trying the app, so initially I was confused and I thought it generated all of these models for me from the picture, but it hadn't done that yet. So there's that yellow create button. When you're ready to begin your own custom model from your own image, you click that. But sometimes you might find that somebody already had a model that you like, that you want to use, and that can be pretty useful. So here's a really nice, cute rabbit that would actually work for a lot of scenarios. The texture isn't the highest resolution, but the model is really good, and that costs just 5 credits. So it's 20%, costs 20% as much to use an existing model compared to creating your own. And then there's in the controls, you can favorite something, or you can show the texture or just the raw model very easily. Now I'm going to actually show you generating the model from the image I've got. So here, if you click that create button, then it goes off and it works for a while. Maybe I think the models take no less than 30 seconds and probably no more than three minutes to generate a model. And this is the little model modal while you're running them. In the free plan, you get 600 credits, which is insanely good, and you can generate one model at a time. With the higher price plan, of course, you can do more. And here we go. This is the model it came up with from the image I provided, and wow, this is really good. It's got even 3D whiskers, which that's impressive, and it's got a translucent shiny material, which is really cute effect. Over here you can see there's different controls on the right side, so you can restylize, retopologize, which will help if you're trying to pick whether you want a more detailed or less detailed model. You're often going to want a more detailed model for static scenes, for film work or pre-rendered work, and then you're going to want simpler models for video games or 3D web where performance is king. They've got an auto rigging feature, but I think that only works on humanoids. I haven't been able to try that out with a model that works yet. I'm curious about that. And they've got a couple different stylized variants that I haven't played with. I was pretty happy with the default model and the style that it's working with, but I might do another video, more content on the stylized versions and also on rigging. And then there's an additional shading option here. You can see I've got flat shading without the reflectiveness, the shininess of the physically based rendering material. So that can create a very different look if you're going for kind of a cartoonish look, maybe something more like Super Mario instead of something like Need for Speed or Grand Theft Auto. So you get a very different feel based on which way you light and render that. And you'll be able to, after I export this model into my 3D program, I'll be able to tweak the material properties very easily. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to pick that yet. And you can also pick formats. They've got all the big common formats. So GLB is nice for web, and then I'm pretty partial to FBX for a lot of my other tools and flows, but honestly there's whatever workflow you've got, this will allow you to export what you want, USD, FBX, OBJ, all those. So this is really nice. I'm actually very, very impressed with this from the first model, from the first picture. It came out really good. Yeah, so that's the basic flow for how you can generate a model. You can do image to model, and then I tried on a second one. I tried doing a Pixar style car. So here, yeah, you can see it takes a while to generate, but then they're also going to show you a preview. So you'll be able to see the different phases. When it's done with the model generation, then it's going to go and do the texture. And it's nice, one thing that I like is they give you a free retry on the model, which you'll see that being relevant in a moment. If the model doesn't end up being exactly what you want, then giving it a retry sometimes will let it hit the model shape that's more what you want. With the car, I ended up not being quite as impressed as with the bunny, but also I gave a better input image for the bunny with a cleaned out white background, and the car I did an image that had some background environment, so I didn't cut it out properly. And as you can see, the model has a couple weird things. You see there's kind of like kickstand popping out of that left door that shouldn't be there. That was on the back side of the car, so it didn't know from the image that that shouldn't be there, and it just predictively added that bit. And then it's now generating the texture. You can see that little PBR loader happening. So the PBR is the physically based rendering material that is applied. And then here you can see the free retry button shows up, or also expand when you're ready to go and go into the model viewer and editor. So this one, it came out really quirky. So not only is there that slight bit of model weirdness, but also the texture came out pretty mangled. So I tried the free retry for this one, and that actually worked really nice. You'll see it. It got the model in a really good place. The texture still had one strangeness that didn't match the image. It added a third eye. So that's not perfect, but that's also something that would be very easy to paint out or edit the material textures in a real workflow. So it's not going to be a showstopper for using that in production work. As long as the model's good, then we can absolutely produce with that for whatever we're building. And then I also ran this. I wanted to see what this looked like in the GLTF viewer. So you can see this is a very optimized model, the game model version. It's 5,200 vertices, 6,000 triangles, and then here's the wireframe version of that. So you can see it's actually a really good model. Like this is impressive. To have a normal 3D modeler create one of these would be a lot of work and pretty expensive. So I was really impressed with Tripo AI with my first impressions. I'd love to find out what you guys are trying with this, and I might try this in a production flow or dive into some of the deeper features at some point soon. So see you.